Good evening and welcome to the 2021 DC Bar Celebration of Leadership. My name is Greg Williams and I will serve as your host this evening. Now, we are excited to be broadcasting from the incredible studio here at the DC Bar headquarters. Folks, tonight is a celebration. Each year, members of the DC Bar have the opportunity to gather together, yes, sometimes virtually, to pay tribute to the new bar leadership, honor the outstanding work of bar members, and of course, witness the passing of the gavel to the new bar president. Tonight's celebration of leadership is that opportunity. So wherever you are tuning in from tonight, be it your kitchen, your office, or your living room, thank you for being part of this important annual tradition. Now, before we officially get started, I want to point out a few key features to help make the most of this virtual event platform. First, if you haven't already done so, you can access all event materials by scrolling down below this video to the agenda and clicking the View Meeting Materials and View Program buttons. There you will find the 2020 Annual Meeting Minutes, DC Bar 2020-2021 Annual Report, and a full event program to complement this evening's programming. Now, we encourage you to explore these materials to learn more about the outstanding accomplishments of the DC Bar and our award winners. We also want to keep this event as interactive as possible, so please join the conversation in the chat box directly below this video. Now, we have more than 111,000 DC Bar members worldwide. Where are you tuning in from? Let us know in the chat. And finally, we will be doing some interactive polls throughout the evening. So please take note of the polling box to the right of this video and stay tuned for the opportunity to make your voice heard. Tonight's celebration has been made possible through the generous support of our sponsors. A huge thank you to Zuckerman Spader, as well as Cornerstone Research, Net Documents, and Western Union Business Solutions for your support. And thank you for tuning in. While video conferencing has become our new normal, this evening's celebration is different. There's nothing to mute. You don't need to change or blur your background. Just sit back and enjoy the 1 hour celebration of the bar's accomplishments and those of its incredible volunteers and members from the past year. From our DC Bar headquarters to your home, enjoy the celebration. To kick things off, please welcome DC Bar President Jeffrey Kleinberg.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the 2021 Celebration of Leadership. I would like to extend a special welcome to all members of the judiciary who are taking part in this evening's celebration, especially Chief Judge Anna Blackburn Rigsby of the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, who will be swearing in our incoming president, Chad Sarchio, Chief Judge Anita Josie Herring of the Superior Court of the District of Columbia, Chief Judge Sri Srinivasan of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, and Chief Judge Beryl A. Howell of the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. Thank you all for your service. To the members of our Board of Governors in attendance tonight, to our CEO Bob Spagnoletti and the entire staff of the DC Bar, Becky Troth and the staff of the DC Bar Pro Bono Center, thank you all for your dedication and contribution throughout the year. To the host committee, thank you for supporting the important work of the 2021 DC Bar Award recipients. Each year, our host committee helps to celebrate the best and brightest of the legal community. As we have pivoted to a virtual program over the last 2 years, your support and efforts have meant so much, so thank you. And to all past presidents of the DC Bar, thank you for your leadership and for making ours the best bar in the world. I look forward to joining your ranks at the end of this evening. Before we begin, if you have not done so, please download the meeting materials. We have 3 items of business. First is the approval of the minutes of our 2020 business meeting. Good. I see from the chat room that we have a motion and a second. Active members of the DC Bar, please use the polling box to the right of the screen to approve the minutes. All in favor? Okay, great. Thank you. Next is the review and approval of the bar's financial report, which is in our annual report, also among the meeting materials you have downloaded for the evening. Great. I see from the chat room that we have a motion and a second. So active members of the DC Bar, please use the polling box to the right of the screen to approve the financial report. All in favor? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Third, I would like to introduce the newly elected members of our leadership team. I'm honored to introduce our new ABA House of Delegates members, Pauline Schneider and D. Jean Vida, and our under 36 ABA delegate, Josephine M. Bond. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to our newly elected members of the Board of Governors, Elizabeth Sally Gear, Brian K. Flowers, Janine D. Jackson, Fatima K. Merchant, Diane Seltzer-Torre, as well as Secretary Roger Lou Phillips and new Treasurer Andrea Mangones. And last, but certainly not least, please welcome our new President-elect, Ellen Jakovic. Congratulations to you all. It has been an extraordinary privilege for me to serve as your president over this past year, and what a year it has been. I am so proud of the work that both the DC Bar and the Pro Bono Center have managed to accomplish while working entirely remotely. To highlight just a couple of examples, the Bar's continuing legal education program conducted more than 220 live accredited courses online using Zoom and other platforms. And of those online courses, 80 were completely new, offering programming on topics relating to COVID, vaccines, and returning to the workplace. The Pro Bono Center continued to conduct its monthly advice and referral clinics, helping hundreds of clients with discrete legal problems over the phone. As we all know, there is an enormous backlog of cases waiting to be processed as our courts return to more normal operations, and the DC Bar's Pro Bono Center will continue to play its critical role in providing opportunities and support for lawyers interested in serving their neighbors in need. This year also provided a wonderful opportunity for us to engage virtually with one another on some really interesting issues. In October, we presented our retooled conference celebrating the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, a live virtual broadcast attended by nearly 900 registrants. This past April, our Judicial and Bar Conference focused on how COVID-19 has changed the legal profession, confirming that the virtual format has some distinct advantages by making the conference more accessible than ever and allowing a significant increase in the number of programming opportunities. And earlier this month, the communities presented their first ever Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Summit, exploring how we as a profession can create opportunities to increase diversity and address equity issues. The Bar was also confronted this year, like no other time before, with the need to speak out in support of the Constitution and against violence and discrimination. On 3 separate occasions, the Bar issued public statements, first calling on lawyers to recommit themselves to fundamental principles of justice and equality during the protests against police brutality last summer. Next, in January 2021, denouncing the shocking and unconscionable assault on our democratic institutions. And finally, urging a recommitment to increasing access to justice after the brutal murders of Asian Americans this past March. Each of these occasions presented the Bar with an opportunity to reconfirm our commitment as lawyers to pursue justice and further the rule of law. So, it's been a strange and challenging year, but it's also been wonderful. I want to thank our CEO, Bob Spagnoletti, and the entire DC Bar staff for doing all of the work that I can now take credit for. To my friends and colleagues on the Board of Governors, thank you for your wisdom and steadfast commitment to the interests of the Bar and our members. To Susie Hoffman, my predecessor, and to Chad Sarchio, our next president, thank you for the wisdom and guidance you've given me. To my law firm, Kellogg Hansen, thank you for your patience with me for this past year. And to my wife, Ursula, and my daughters, Julia, Anna, and Emily, thank you for your love and support. Finally, to my fellow members of the DC Bar, it has been one of the honors of my life to serve as your president this year. Thank you very much. And now I will turn it back over to our host, Greg Williams, as we prepare to honor tonight's award winners.
Thank you, Jeff. The Bar and the entire DC legal community is so grateful for your leadership and vision, especially during such a difficult and uncommon year. Now, let us turn our focus to those like Jeff who have answered the call to serve individuals and organizations who have gone above and beyond to improve the legal profession and enhance access to justice. It is now my honor to recognize the winners of the 2021 DC Bar Annual Awards.
Every year, the DC Bar honors those organizations and individuals who have gone above and beyond to advance the legal profession and enhance access to justice. Our annual awards recognize the best of the best, shining a well-deserved spotlight on the exemplary work of our members and the DC legal community. Join us in celebrating the winners of the 2021 DC Bar Annual Awards. The Frederick B. Abramson Award. The Frederick B. Abramson Award recognizes a DC Bar committee or project that, through innovation, initiative, or unusual dedication, has resulted in a significant benefit to the DC Bar and its individual members. The award is named for Frederick B. Abramson, a DC legal legend who served as bar president from 1985 to 1986. For years, Fred was a well-known mentor and role model to many attorneys and future judges, especially in the African American community, where he inspired countless others to follow in his footsteps. The 2021 winner of the Frederick B. Abramson Award is the DC Bar Information Technology Team for the new and improved DC Bar website and e-commerce catalog. The DC Bar IT team's effort to improve the bar's digital presence became particularly critical during the pandemic, when the digital delivery of information and services became a necessary part of bar operations. The refreshed website and e-commerce catalog provide members with resources, tools, classes, and more, all in an easy-to-use, accessible, and secure platform. Congratulations to the DC Bar IT team.
I am so grateful to be part of this dedicated team who does not hold back on anything that they set their mind into. So everybody's hardworking, dedicated people to accomplish what they set their mind into. And I think at the end, the results showed what everybody did. This project had two phases. The first one is the content part of the website, where people come in and get content. And second portion, the second phase, is the e-commerce, where we sell our events and courses.
We want to thank everybody, the IT division, and then the cross-functional teams that were involved from the beginning to the end. And thank you all. Without you, we wouldn't be able to get this award. I want to thank first, to start with our leader, the CIO. She's a great leader for managing all the projects, and then each team as well.
I am grateful to be able to have a leader that supports me for accomplishing everything that I am doing, as well as being able to support by a wonderful team that I'm blessed to work with day in and day out.
The Voluntary Bar Association of the Year Award recognizes the DC chapter of a voluntary bar association that provides exemplary service to its members, the legal profession, or the DC community through outstanding programming, community outreach, special initiatives, or professional activities. The 2021 Voluntary Bar Association of the Year is the Washington Council of Lawyers. Now celebrating its 50th anniversary, the Washington Council of Lawyers trains, advocates for, mentors, and builds community to promote pro bono service and the practice of public interest law within the district. In 2020, the organization hosted more than 70 events and trainings, attracting more than 4,000 attendees. Through its Racial Justice series and other programs, the Washington Council of Lawyers worked to inform the legal community on the impact of racial bias and racism in the legal system, and to address the disparate impact of evictions and other civil legal actions on people of color. The organization also advocated for the continued funding of civil legal services, the protection of pro bono litigants' rights, and for increased opportunities for D.C. government lawyers to engage in pro bono representation. Congratulations to the Washington Council of Lawyers on this award and an incredible year of work.
We were really excited to learn that we were being recognized as the Voluntary Bar Association of the Year this year. For 50 years, Washington Council of Lawyers has been the public interest voice in the legal community. We're used to giving out awards to pro bono advocates and public interest lawyers, and so tonight is really special when we get recognized instead. Our mission is to ensure our courts treat everyone fairly, regardless of money, position, or power. Our strength is in bringing together the entire legal profession to advocate, educate, mentor, and build a strong public interest community. Tonight, we celebrate. Tomorrow, we get back to work. And we hope you will join us in working to advance access to justice in the District of Columbia. Thank you so much for this award.
We're very proud, Nancy and I and Christina and Jean Marie, the other members of our staff, very proud of the offerings that we have been able to put forward during the pandemic time period. We've put on over 70 events in the last 12 months, attracting over 4,000 attendees. We want to build on our success. We want to build on the recognition that the DC Bar has so graciously given us. And we're very, very excited, looking forward into the future to build a bigger and better Washington Council of Lawyers to ensure that everyone in our city gets a fair shake in the legal system. We are very excited about the future. We will continue to grow. We will continue to offer our programs and our advocacy and our initiative and our services and our mentoring. And we look forward to welcoming you at a future event. So thank you to the DC Bar very much for bestowing this award on us. We are humbled by it, and we will double down and make sure that we live up to the honor that is being bestowed upon us. Thank you.
The Community of the Year Award honors the DC Bar community that best exemplifies professional service to its members and to the citizens of DC through educational programs, professional activities, involvement in current issues and legislation, and member communications. The 2021 Community of the Year is the Corporation, Finance, and Securities Law Community. This community met the moment in 2020, bringing together members, government agencies, industry experts, and others to address important and timely issues, such as diversity and inclusion in business and finance, environmental, social, and governance investing, and corporate disclosure, and data privacy and security. Seeing demand among its members, the community established a Diversity and Inclusion in Business and Finance Subcommittee and 3 task forces addressing key legal issues relevant to the community. Congratulations to the Corporate, Finance, and Securities Law Community and its members.
Thank you very much for the award. We're extremely honored and humbled. This really is a wonderful recognition of work that has been done by us, by subcommittee chairs, and the vice chairs of the subcommittees and the members of the subcommittees. Layla Baum is our fearless leader. Layla has been involved in this community for, I believe, several years now. Layla is at the SEC, which brings a tremendously important angle to this work because she can spearhead and see how the work is being done from a regulatory perspective. I'm a partner at a law firm, Reed Smith, so I bring in the contribution from the private industry, and combining these two perspectives, we believe, provides a very significant benefit to our members.
I'm so proud that this year we were able to not only put on our traditional programs, but also tackle some difficult issues with new programming. It's great that we had record attendance, and it was wonderful to see more engagement from our colleagues in the community. Throughout the year, we organized programs on developments in corporate and finance law and regulations. And this year we did that, but we also wanted to take on some initiatives on certain topics, one of which was diversity. In January of 2020, we had established a new subcommittee on diversity and inclusion in business and finance. We felt so strongly that given the skills we have as attorneys and the experiences and networks we have amongst ourselves here at the DC Bar, we really had to do something to address this challenge that has been facing our profession and our industry for such a long time. As we all know, in 2020, these issues really came to the forefront in ways we couldn't have imagined. So we revamped our programming to address those emergent topics. We've also been working very hard to ensure our programs address different groups of people who are interested in these topics and also affected by these issues. We have so much work still to do, but I'm confident that we have a great platform from which we can move forward.
Outstanding work, everyone. You all should be very proud. Now, we turn our attention to those most committed to service in the legal profession, providing free legal services to low-income or disadvantaged individuals in the district, as well as the organizations that serve them. Let's meet the Pro Bono Law Firm of the Year and the Laura N. Rinaldi Pro Bono Lawyer of the Year.
The award for Pro Bono Law Firm of the Year recognizes a law firm for excellence, achievement, and commitment to providing legal services to the district's low-income or disadvantaged individuals or organizations serving such individuals. The 2021 Pro Bono Law Firm of the Year is Covington & Burling, LLP. Throughout the course of the year in 2020, Covington & Burling's DC office contributed more than 119,000 hours, more than 9% of its billable hours, to pro bono service. Covington lawyers represented low-income DC residents and their families in high-stakes matters involving shelter, safety, health, public benefits, and wages. Providing outside counsel for more than 500 nonprofit organizations and small businesses, Covington lawyers advised on a wide variety of issues and offered critical information and resources, helping them continue to serve the community during these challenging times. Congratulations to the team at Covington & Burling on an extraordinary year of service.
Alan Pemberton, I'm the co-chair of our pro bono program at Covington, and at Covington we're very excited to be recognized by the DC Bar for all the work of so many of our lawyers. We've had for over 50 years a rotation program where we send lawyers who detail them full-time for 6-month shifts. People just, find their voices as lawyers sometimes doing pro bono work. I mean, they find they have a flair for standing up in court and sticking up for the little guy.
I chose Covington in part because of its commitment to pro bono. For 50 years, the firm has had a pro bono rotation program, and I'm proud that I got to participate in it. And I'm not sure of any other law firm in DC that does the same thing. I am incredibly happy the firm has won this honor. Covington attorneys represented low-income DC residents in high-stakes matters all over the district. These are cases helping tenants stay in their homes, removing barriers to employment, and helping clients to keep their wages and public benefits.
The Laura N. Rinaldi Pro Bono Lawyer of the Year Award recognizes a lawyer who sets a standard of excellence and achievement in providing legal services to the district's low-income or otherwise disadvantaged individuals or the organizations that serve them. The award is named in memory of Laura Rinaldi, a treasured member of the Pro Bono Center staff, who also championed the special education rights of the district's youth. Laura was a dedicated, talented attorney who dramatically improved the lives of DC residents living in poverty. Laura's memory continues to inspire the entire legal services community. The 2021 Laura N. Rinaldi Pro Bono Lawyer of the Year Award goes to Dan Cantor, a partner at Arnold & Porter. Dan is recognized both for his longtime commitment to pro bono work and recent remarkable efforts relating to pandemic relief. Dan assembled a team of more than 100 lawyers across 8 offices who provided counseling on unemployment benefits, claims denial appeals, and the defense of allegations of overpayment. The group has provided assistance to more than 800 individuals. Dan also led efforts to support small businesses by providing information and resources about loans, programs, and other benefits needed to weather the economic disruptions of the pandemic. All in all, Dan devoted 852 hours to pro bono service in 2020, and 839 of those hours were spent serving low-income DC residents or the organizations that serve them. Congratulations to Dan on this award, and thank you for your leadership and service to the community.
Dan Cantor is the Energizer Bunny of pro bono attorneys, putting everything he has into his work. When clients first come to LCE, they are disillusioned by a world that seems to have turned its back on them. But Dan reaches past that and connects with each person. He gives them hope, reassurance, and respect. LCE is a better organization thanks to Dan's leadership on our board, and the world is a better place because of the work he does. Thank you, Dan, and congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank the DC Bar for this kind, important recognition. It's a deep honor to be mentioned and considered in the same breath as someone of Laura's caliber. But of course, this recognition isn't about me as an individual or about any individual in particular. Rather, it speaks to an enormous collaborative effort among thousands of lawyers and other individuals in the DC area, nationally and internationally, and also to ensure that every single participant in our legal system has their voices heard. This is an ongoing effort, and there's a lot of work that remains to be done. But I'm grateful to be a small part in that, and I'm grateful to be part of a bar organization that takes this obligation so seriously. So once again, thank you for this very kind recognition, and I look forward to continuing to work with everyone as we work to achieve the reality of equal justice for everyone. Thank you.
That's truly inspiring. That is true commitment and service. Now, this community is better off because of your hard work and determination, so thank you. Finally, we have our final 2 awards of the evening. Both awards are named after very special individuals and pay tribute to the bar's finest. It is my honor to introduce the winners of the Beatrice Rosenberg Award for Excellence in Government Service and the William J. Brennan Jr. Award for Extraordinary Commitment to the Pursuit of Equal Justice.
Now, 2 DC Bar Awards of special distinction. The Beatrice B. Rosenberg Award recognizes a DC Bar member whose career contributions to the government exemplify the highest order of public service. The award was established by the bar in honor of late DC bar member Beatrice B. Rosenberg, who dedicated 35 years of her career to government service and performed with distinction at the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. For the first time in bar history, the bar has chosen 2 recipients for the 2021 Beatrice Rosenberg Award. They are Mary Catherine Mallon of the U.S. Department of State's Office of the Legal Advisor, and, posthumously, George Valentine of the D.C. Mayor's Office of Legal Counsel. Mary Catherine Mallon, now Deputy Legal Advisor at the U.S. Department of State, has spent more than 35 years in public service as an international lawyer, handling issues involving diplomatic and consular immunity, foreign sovereign immunity, foreign official immunity, privileges and immunities of international organizations, and the recognition of states and governments. Throughout her career, Ms. Mallon has been a pioneering force in international law, leading the offices of Consular Affairs and the Office of the Legal Advisor, working on several notable Supreme Court cases, and mentoring new lawyers through her work with the American Society of International Law, and as a professor at Georgetown University Law Center. Because of her outstanding record of government service and exceptional contributions to the international law and DC legal community, the DC Bar is proud to honor Mary Catherine Mallon with the 2021 Beatrice Rosenberg Award for Excellence in Government Service. Congratulations.
I am deeply honored to have been selected for the B. Rosenberg Award, together with George Valentine. So many of my colleagues richly deserve to be recognized. It's hard to believe that I'm joining the ranks of the amazing former acting legal advisor Mary McLeod and DOJ superstar and counsel to Nancy Pelosi, Doug Letter. I'm grateful to the DC Bar for bestowing this award year after year to recognize those who have devoted their careers to public service. The award affirms the legal community's support for the essential work of public servants, and I thank the DC Bar for doing so. I want to thank my colleagues in the Legal Advisor's Office, whose passion, good humor, collegiality make it, as we say, the L family. Thanks especially to those who secretly nominated me for this award. I have to also thank my primary mentor, Linda Jacobson, as well as my longtime colleagues and friends, Judy, Kathleen, Holly, and Paige, who shared my joys and successes and supported me in more difficult times. Finally, I thank my family, who suffered through middle-of-the-night calls, late pickups after school, and interrupted vacation, all occasioned by some work emergency. B. Rosenberg set an inspiring example with her efforts to promote and protect civil rights, her selfless dedication to the rule of law, and as a woman in a leadership position. For myself, I'll strive to follow in the footsteps of George Valentine, mentoring newer lawyers, providing support and encouragement to those around me, and serving our country with integrity and dedication. Thank you again for honoring me with this award.
The second recipient of the 2021 Beatrice Rosenberg Award for Excellence in Government Service goes to the late George Valentine of the D.C. Mayor's Office of Legal Counsel. George Valentine dedicated more than 30 years of his career to serving the public, including 16 years as Deputy Attorney General in the Office of the Attorney General for the District of Columbia, and most recently as the Deputy Director of the Mayor's Office of Legal Counsel. In March of 2020, Mr. Valentine passed away due to COVID-19. He was only 66. Mayor Muriel Bowser said then in a tweet, quote, "George Valentine epitomized what it is to be a dedicated public servant, and he always shared his deep knowledge of law and his boundless love of D.C. His work and leadership left a lasting mark on the district and our legal community. For that, the D.C. Bar is proud to posthumously honor Valentine with the 2021 Beatrice Rosenberg Award for Excellence in Government Service. Here to accept the award on his behalf is Samuel C. Kaplan, a partner at Boies Schiller Flexner LLP.
I accept this award on behalf of George Valentine And I thank the bar for its choice to honor George and his 36-year career of dedicated public service on behalf of the District of Columbia. We would have been deeply touched to receive it, and we all wish that he would have had the opportunity today or years from now to accept this award on his own behalf. The list of distinguished recipients of the Rosenberg Award reminds us of the importance of having attorneys to serve in those roles who embody the highest standards of ability, integrity, and professionalism. The District of Columbia was long fortunate to have such a champion in George. He served the district through critical and complicated periods in its history. The period that he supervised district civil litigation alone spanned 6 mayors, 6 corporation councils, and 4 attorneys general. George also leaves a lasting legacy through the many attorneys and supervisors who had the opportunity to work with and learn from him. George also was unselfish with his time and support, even with attorneys who do not work for him, including various attorneys who commented at the time of his passing about how helpful George was to them as young attorneys in taking time to meet with and mentor them. So while I am here today, first and foremost on George's behalf in accepting this award, it also is my honor to stand here in the stead of all those who held my position as George's assistant deputy, together with the countless attorneys who had the opportunity to work for and learn from him over the years. Our system and the public depend upon having attorneys of integrity and ability who can be counted on to ensure that the public's interests are protected and to ensure that those whom the public elects to make decisions on their behalf receive the best legal advice. George Valentine embodied those qualities and was the quintessential public servant. We will miss him deeply, and so will the district that he loved and served for so long and left too soon. I again thank the bar on George's behalf for the honor of this award and for the honor of delivering these remarks on his behalf.
Our final award of the evening is presented biennially, alternating with the Thurgood Marshall Award. Established in 1993, the prestigious William J. Brennan Award recognizes a DC Bar member who has shown extraordinary commitment and initiative in pursuing equal justice and opportunity for all Americans. The DC Bar is proud to present the 2021 William J. Brennan Award to David Reiser of Zuckerman-Spader for his decades of service, advocating for access to justice for the poor and powerless. Mr. Reiser spent more than a decade at the Public Defender Service for the District of Columbia as a staff attorney, supervisor, special counsel, and ultimately general counsel. He served as special assistant to the general counsel of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development during the Clinton administration. As counsel at Zuckerman-Spader, he has committed thousands of hours to pro bono service, including significant contributions to the establishment, development, and expansion of the Legal Aid Society of the District of Columbia's Barbara McDowell Appellate Advocacy Project. Congratulations to David Reiser, the winner of the 2021 William J. Brennan Award, and thank you for your relentless pursuit of equal justice and opportunity.
I got my start doing prison cases as a law student, and I just found out that a lawyer I used to drive out to FCI Danbury with more than 40 years ago is retiring, so I'm hoping this award is not a way of telling me to retire, because there is so much more work still to be done. The list of those I need to thank for making possible the work the bar is recognizing today is too long to even attempt to cover everybody individually. It extends from my teachers and friends in the Yale Legal Services program, to my colleagues and students in the Georgetown Prettyman program, to my colleagues and mentors who fought the high-speed death penalty machine in the 1980s, to my colleagues at PDS, HUD, and Zuckerman-Spader, and the lawyers at the DC Legal Aid Society who I hope think of me as a colleague, to my clients, and to my family. I will save more personal thanks for more personal settings. But I have a no thanks message too. Today, I want to use this opportunity to tell you why you should honor a person who cannot be here because of her untimely death. The person I want to acknowledge is Barbara McDowell, who was the first director of the Legal Aid Appellate Project and who I had the privilege to work with for several years after she left the Solicitor General's office. Barbara introduced me when Legal Aid gave me an award back then, and it is only fair for me at the very least to share this moment with her. To join forces with Barbara was to believe that it was always possible to change minds with just a little more effort and hard thinking, to bend the curve toward justice in real time. The people whose work I want to acknowledge are the lawyers and staff of PDS, Legal Aid, and the many governmental and nonprofit organizations that face the daily task of representing poor people in cases that get little attention. They are some of the best lawyers I know. There is a tendency to think that pro bono work should receive special praise. And yes, I think the bar should do everything in its power to encourage it. But we are just visitors. I know the work isn't all fun. It is tiring and sometimes feels thankless, even futile. But our best and most lasting response as a profession to systemic injustice is a system that strives to provide justice for all. One of the rewards of faithfully serving people who are being pushed around is that each push back generates new energy for the next time. Thank you for allowing me to share in the fun, and thank you to Zuckerman Spader for allowing me to be a small part of the effort.
Congratulations to all our winners. Thank you for your passion, commitment, and service to others. You truly set the bar for what leadership in the legal profession looks like. And now, to kick off the big event of the evening, the swearing-in ceremony, please welcome two of Chad's strongest influences, closest colleagues, and dearest friends through the last 3 decades, Bradley Weinsheimer and Demore Smith.
There is no greater person to be our next bar president than Chad Sarchio. I've known Chad over the past 3 decades, and he's been my DOJ colleague for the past 20 years. I can tell you that Chad has the knowledge of the law, the dedication, and the superb judgment to be a great leader for the DC Bar. I can also tell you that Chad's skills have been honed over the years. I first met Chad in 1994 when he was a law student at GW University, and I was a AUSA in the U.S. Attorney's Office. Chad was a law clerk there, and my good friend Dee Smith and I were the coaches for his trial advocacy team that was preparing for a trial in Chicago. When Chad started, he had some trouble with objections. He would open up this little book that was like a little pocket constitution every time he had to make an objection. We told Chad, rely on your instinct and your judgment, and you'll do fine. And that's exactly what happened. By the time we got to the trial competition, Chad was objecting so freely that one of his opponents stood up and complained to the judge, "Your Honor, the objections are so forthcoming." Chad and his team didn't win that competition, but through Chad's efforts, they did a great job, and we had a lot of fun in the process. And that's Chad. He's a lifelong learner who has excelled in everything he's done, from rising to a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve to his position now as the Chief of Staff to the Administrator at the DEA. Chad will be an outstanding bar president.
I've known Chad Sarchio for nearly 30 years. The first time I met him, he was a student, applying himself as an advocate, and myself and my great friend Brad Weinsheimer were his trial ad coaches. From those early days, I saw Chad Sarchio turning into a tenacious advocate. Over the years, I've learned a number of other qualities: duty, honor, and service. Chad exemplifies all of those things. And what most of you don't know, it started as an early age when Chad became an Eagle Scout. So now today, stepping into the role as the president of the DC Bar, all of us benefit from his dedication to duty, to honor, and to service. So to Chad, to your wonderful family, congratulations. It's an honor to be a part of this investiture for you. I know your dad and I know your mom would be proud, and I'm even prouder to be your friend.
As a friend and as a member of the DC Bar, it is my great pleasure now to welcome Chad Sarchio, the new president of the DC Bar.
And to swear him in, Chief Judge Anna Blackburn-Rigsby of the District of Columbia Court of Appeals.
Good evening, and I am pleased and excited to join you for this year's celebration of leadership for the District of Columbia Bar. And it's my honor to swear in the 50th president of the District of Columbia Bar, Chad Sarchio. I've known Chad for many years and know of his energy and commitment to service and his work with the District of Columbia Bar. And I look forward to our collaboration during his tenure as president of the bar. Before I administer the oath of office to Chad Sarchio, I'd like to take a moment just to say a special thank you to Jeff Kleinberg for his tremendous leadership during this bar year. This has been a year like no other as we have met the challenge of a global pandemic. And despite that challenge, the DC Bar delivered many wonderful, timely, and much needed programs to all of its members. I also appreciate the fantastic collaboration with the bar and the courts for the first ever virtual Judicial Bar Conference. Jeff, it's been a pleasure and honor to work with you, and I wish you the best. I also wanted to say thank you to Bob Spagnoletti, the CEO of the District of Columbia Bar, and to the phenomenal staff and team at the DC Bar. Without you, none of the wonderful programming would be possible. And a special thanks to the dedicated Board of Governors and officers for the DC Bar. Your service is so important to this community and to our bar. Thank you. So Chad, are you ready at this time to take the oath of office?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
And with this oath comes the heavy burden of leadership, the challenges and the joys, but I know that you are more than up to it and that you will put your special stamp on this important office. If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Chad Sarchio,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
execute the duties of the office of president
of the office of president
of the District of Columbia Bar.
of the District of Columbia Bar.
I promise to perform my duties
I promise to perform my duties
in conformity with the rules of the District of Columbia Court of Appeals
in conformity with the rules of the District of Columbia Court of Appeals
and the bylaws of the District of Columbia Bar.
and the bylaws of the District of Columbia Bar.
I will support the mission of the District of Columbia Bar
I will support the mission of the District of Columbia Bar
to aid in the administration of justice,
to aid in the administration of justice,
to promote professional development,
to promote professional development,
and to promote access to justice for all.
and to promote access to justice for all.
And this I promise.
And this I promise.
Congratulations, Chad. And I look forward to working with you during your tenure as president of the District of Columbia Bar. Best of luck to you.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
As I hand over this gavel to you, Chad, I do so with great confidence in your ability and judgment to lead the bar back into the sun. As we've heard, your steadfast commitment to public service has defined your entire career. The year ahead will be just the latest opportunity for you to serve the public good. I am delighted to welcome you as the new president of the DC Bar. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
Congrats on the inauguration, Dad! Congrats!
Thanks, Jeff. I have a long but not exhaustive list of wonderful people to whom I am thrilled to be able to express my deep, heartfelt gratitude. That starts with you, Jeff. You have steered our organization smoothly, thoughtfully and decisively through unprecedented, perilous, uncharted waters. It has been my privilege to become not just your colleague, but, I hope, your friend, and to learn the ropes from you. I only hope to ply them with equal aplomb. Similarly, I would be remiss if I did not thank former Presidents Bridget Benitez, Susie Hoffman, Esther Lim, John Cruden, and CEO Bob Spagnoletti, among others, for their inspiring leadership of our bar and their incredible generosity in counseling me to and through the election and my year as president-elect. Without them, the state of the profession in the district, the amount and quality of pro bono assistance in the community, and the trajectory of the bar would not look so promising. Rare is the person who achieves anything of substance alone. Without the right teams around us, we can wander and worry and wallow. I might well have done a lot more of all those things without teachers, mentors, and teammates like Dee Smith and Brad Weinsheimer. They are not just my A-team, they are the A-team, and spending nearly 3 decades in their professional and personal company simply has been one of my life's best treats. Thanks too for your kind introduction, gents. I also would like to thank D.C. Court of Appeals Chief Judge Anna Blackburn Rigsby for her service to and leadership of our local courts. Her steady hand, keen intellect, and personal warmth were accentuated by this past year's challenges. And having served under then Colonel Robert Rigsby for 3 years in the Army Reserve's judicial team, it feels serendipitous that I will now have the opportunity to work with the higher legal authority in their home. I am eager to undertake the tasks ahead with you, Chief Judge. I have had tremendously good fortune to work with some of the finest public servants and educators in the nation. My time with the Army, U.S. Attorney's Office, DEA, and GW Law has shown me time and again what first-rate, dedicated, ethical lawyering in service to others looks like. I will draw from this deep well of experience in the year ahead and hope to keep the lessons and perspectives I acquired ever in mind. Last, but certainly not least, I must thank my family. In a strange twist of fate, my son Evan is my scholastic, athletic, and spiritual hero. My daughter Raquel is my model for persistence and intrinsic goodness, and she humbles me daily. And my wife, to whom I routinely refer as a miracle of God, is my inspiration, true north, and best friend. Anyone who knows us recognizes she is by far the best lawyer in our household. But then, I have no good cause to damn her with such faint praise. I appreciate your indulgence in letting me service those debts of gratitude. It is now incumbent upon me to address how I will try to leverage all of these salutary influences, experiences, and relationships during the year ahead. That kind of prognostication is a tricky game. This time last year, many of us thought and spoke in terms of an end to the pandemic and resuming normal modes and rhythms of life. It turns out we were only off by about a year. So, despite some issues on which I'd hoped to focus as president, I believe the days ahead will dictate slightly different, yet clear, priorities. First, we need to plan for and execute the bar's and our practices return to in-person operations, events, and services. There was no switch to flip last year in transforming our work into virtual versions of itself, and there is no simple switch to flip now. Nevertheless, our CEO and his impressive executive team and staff have already begun making a broad assessment of our organizations, our members, and our community's needs and preferences so that we can take a comprehensive, careful, and caring approach to the return to in-person work. We are reviewing successes and best practices across the profession and among comparable bar organizations. We are taking a hard look at the courts, and others' missed opportunities or persistent gaps. And we are asking for and listening closely to our stakeholders' thoughtful input. I have every confidence that in 2021, our bar will retain advances, remediate disparities, build institutional resilience, and provide even more value than ever before. Next, as courts and offices continue to reopen, pandemic protection programs expire, and the neediest amongst us confront increasingly consequential legal proceedings, we genuinely expect the demand for pro bono services to explode. The imperatives of shelter, prosperity, and family will face unprecedented challenges as foreclosures, landlord and tenant disputes, debt collection litigation, and all manner of domestic relations matters surge. While the Pro Bono Center has proven a model of flexibility and innovation, from its shift to remote operations of its advice and referral clinics, to its development of the landlord-tenant legal assistance and family law assistance networks, and more. It will take new solutions and redoubled commitments to meet these needs. As but one small example, I hope to see through one of Jeff Kleinberg's signature efforts by helping the Pro Bono Task Force finalize and implement an effective appellate pro bono program. Please know that your bar, the Pro Bono Center, and our communities stand ready to amplify and broadcast the demand signals, to marshal resources and deliver services, and to collaborate and coordinate with other legal service providers, voluntary bar organizations, and others to serve the interests of justice. Tonight, I ask every bar member to reevaluate how you are contributing to these necessary, noble efforts, and to reconsider in earnest how to expand upon those contributions, whether in time or treasure. In doing so, rest assured that your bar will serve you so that you can serve the community. Finally, I recognize that this past year and all of its continuing exhaustive work comes at a cost. Lawyers and the dedicated professionals who support them are not just cogs in some faceless perpetual legal machinery. We are people with our own limits, blind spots, and insecurities. Accordingly, I hope to help galvanize and expand upon the impressive array of crucial programs and services that the bar offers members who themselves are in need or crisis. For example, the Practice Management Advisory Service has made some groundbreaking strides regarding digital marketing and fee arrangements for small firms. We should get such tools into attorneys' hands now as litigation needs ramp up and develop new ones as post-pandemic challenges materialize. Similarly, I have begun discussing with our amazing Lawyer Assistance Program personnel whether and how we might institute the notion of attorney wellness as a component of competence to practice law, as some jurisdictions have done recently. Such a move, and others, would require thorough exploration and consideration. But I remain steadfast in my belief that we must seek novel ways to destigmatize, legitimize, and routinize issues surrounding lawyer well-being, especially in a time when so much is asked of us and we ask so much of ourselves. It has been a privilege to serve as president-elect this past year. It has afforded me a chance to develop a robust appreciation and respect for the incredible depth and breadth of the bar's offerings and engagement. More importantly, it has allowed me to form real bonds with the people who produce and participate in them. From my tours as an Army lawyer and judge, to my years as a federal prosecutor, to my service as agency counsel, to my decades as an adjunct professor of law, I never imagined such opportunities. So, I will be honored and humbled to lend some measure of leadership as president as the bar strives to enhance access to justice, improve the legal system, and empower lawyers to achieve excellence. Again, my sincerest thanks. With that, I see we have a motion to adjourn. Thank you.
And that marks the end of the 2021 DC Bar Celebration of Leadership. Thank you for being here and to welcome our new bar leadership and to honor the incredible accomplishments of our award winners. And again, thank you to our sponsors for making this event possible. We hope to see you next year at the 2022 Celebration of Leadership, when we'll also be celebrating a momentous occasion, the 50th anniversary of the DC Bar. Until then, we wish you all a safe and successful year ahead. Good night.